Why, hello there, everyone. Hey, are you in Arizona? Or maybe you're on the Navajo reservation or parts in between, and you have a small business, medium-sized business even, and you need to run your payroll. Well, we're going to talk about Arizona State payroll withholding, the payroll application in Excel. My guarantee, this is the easiest way to run payroll on the face of the universe. That's right. You contact me and I'll get you a copy of this payroll file. Let's talk about Arizona because we're going through all 50 states before the end of February. I know it seems like we're only on the letter A, but there are a lot of other states done. But anyway, let's talk about it. So here on the employee info sheet, and when you've got your name of your employees and whether or not they filled out a 2020 W-4, there's a huge video about the 2020 W-4 if you don't know what's going on there yet. All this information, are they married or not, it's not even relevant actually if they filled out a 2020 W-4. You don't even need to fill that out. But we get to Arizona. And the question with Arizona is, you don't have to look at too much with Arizona. Arizona is going to ask you on the Arizona W-4 a pretty simple question. They're just going to say, hey, withhold from your gross taxable wages the percentage that you check, and you get to check what you want. And you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I'm allowed to just check whatever percentage I want? The answer is yes, because at the end of the year, if you checked a percentage that was too low, you're going to owe, you're going to have to pay Arizona. And if you chose a percentage that was too high, they're going to pay you back a refund. So you're not going to skirt any tax liability, but you do get to choose it. So it's pretty easy. And you can have additional amount withheld each paycheck, or you can elect that you think your percentage is going to be zero and that you're not going to have any liability for the year. Not only is there this option of choosing zero, but there's also another form if heavy big Native American population, Navajo reservation. I checked out those beautiful lands. I've driven through that area a few times and been to the outskirts of the reservation and everything. A lot of businesses there in Page, Arizona, especially. And so with this, if you have a Native American tribal census number, you're declaring that you have no Arizona income tax because of Native American status. And here you can fill that out. There's also non-resident military spouse withholding. If you're in these states, wow, I mean, I'm in Virginia most of the time, and apparently they have a reciprocal agreement with Virginia, Indiana, Oregon, and California. So if you're a resident in those states, you can also do that. So there are a couple different ways to avoid tax in Arizona if you meet any of those qualifications. So here in this Arizona withholding election, if it is a zero for any of those reasons, any of them at all, tribal census number, things like that, which you can actually put that over here if you do have that situation, you're just going to choose zero for the Arizona, and it's going to be fine. States Arizona, states Arizona. Otherwise, you're going to choose from the drop-down list and figure out what percentage it should be based on what the W-4 came out. So this is more information related to the 2020 W-4. If you choose, if they're going to be filling out a W-4 for 2020, you choose yes, there all of a sudden you don't need their old W-4 allowances from their old W-4. You can actually get rid of that because now it's telling you that you need to fill in these things about their filing status now and whether or not they check the box for 2 jobs or not. That's why it's asking you for at least that information to fill in. Unemployment rate, if you have unemployment now, unemployment may or may not be applicable to certain employees depending, I believe, on their residency status. So we can go over that in another video. But once you have all your employee information in here and their Arizona rates, you go to the daily entry sheet, you enter in, you choose their name, you choose the day, you choose the hours or the type of hour it was. You can also, if they get tips, they would go there. And if they get paid by projects, you can start this project thing over here, or you can enter in things by hour here to figure out what the decimal version of their hours are and then spread that around. Like this is really going to be 725 if that was for this day. If this was the time, you'd have to type in the number here, but this just tells you what the decimal is if you want to put their hours in and their break time there. Now, a lot of the main stuff's going on here in the pay period record sheet. So this is where all the records of all the paychecks are listed. And a lot of times people are going to use this and they're going to filter it for just one pay period at a time. So let's look at the very last payment. This is a weekly file here for somebody who pays every week. So you have all your employees. If there was any additional federal withheld or additional Arizona state withheld, you put it here. The hours come in automatically from that other sheet. That's what all this blue stuff is. You don't have to do anything there. You do have to put in an hourly rate if it's in red because it means you don't have an hourly rate listed for that employee. If there's any bonus or salary amount related to the employee, it would go there. Any garnishments or reimbursements. Once you issue the check, if you want to put the final check number in here so you can keep track of the check numbers, you could do that. And any state tax or current federal is going to show up because if you're instituting this file in the middle of the year here, and you have previous pay periods already listed, you're going to need to potentially type over these numbers and get the exact numbers if the rounding didn't come out exactly to this amount when you're entering in the old information. And I will do more videos this year about how to import your other historical data into this file when you're picking up this thing mid-year, because you see how easy it is and you want to use it. Pay stubs have pretty much everything you need. You just choose the name and choose the pay period. I don't think Ivysaur has a paycheck. Maybe Ivysaur does have a paycheck this week. It's usually Bulbasaur, so you just can choose all the names and everything's going to change automatically. You can even print a check on here if you do that and want to fit that to a check printer. Drop down reports. So this is your 941 report. This is the big thing where everyone files this quarterly. You can choose it by quarter, or you can also choose it by month if you're a monthly depositor. You have to turn around and send this to the Fed. It depends on how big your business is. Some people deposit 3 days after their actual paycheck because they have a high liability. Other people can wait till through the next month, but it depends on the size of your business. And so you just choose those and everything changes over here with all the detail of the employee and all the different expense categories that comprise their 941. You have the Arizona state tax over here. Same idea. You can just choose whatever month or pay period or whatever, and you're going to get the data that goes there, the withholding amounts. And then you have other pivot sheets where we can get into this if you want to analyze data, open things up, make any graphical charts, or look at any expense amount or withholding amount or deduction amount or anything in here. We can sift this around and make it totally dynamic. And it also has state unemployment and federal unemployment reports over here as well. Automatically, just refresh these pivot tables. And then you have your W-2 at the end where you just choose the name and hopefully everything fills itself out automatically and in the right spots. So that is under 8 minutes, Arizona Payroll 2020. Go to kenbraverman.com if you have a business in the United States or in a territory. I guarantee you I can get a payroll file for you working for your business exactly the way you want. That's my guarantee, and we're out.